Hamid Gharagozoloo. I'm the U.S. representative of International Organization to Preserve Human Rights.
So, Hamid, we're here today at an event at the UK Parliament. Could you tell us a bit about the event, how you found it, and if there was anything in particular that stood out for you?
It was great. I hope it's one of many more to come. A lot of important issues were discussed, issues that should be discussed more often and talked about.
Fantastic. So what actions, in your opinion, with your experience in this field, what actions do you think can be taken to help counter the human rights violations that we're seeing consistently in Iran?
Well, one immediate action that I would like to see is that we start separating different groups, different minority groups as oppressed minority, because everybody is an oppressed minority in Iran. And it also disarms the regime from a powerful tool. When you break people into different groups, then they can take advantage of it. They concentrate on certain minority group, label them as agents of the West or Israel, and then they crack down on them much harder. And then they get concessions, back off, they move on to the next group. But when you put everybody together, which is the fact, this is the reality, every Iranian is an oppressed minority in Iran, then they can't claim that the whole nation is agent of Israel or Western powers. And also, it would be an encouraging message for the population in Iran, because they realize that they're all being acknowledged, not just specific minority group, by their representatives, like Christians or Baha'is or Sufis. So it would be very encouraging and heartwarming for the population in Iran. But the real solution to this problem is that this regime has to be gone. As long as they exist, this is going to continue.
Yes. So we're here in London. Why is it important for us here in the West to pay attention to these human rights abuses?
Well, on a idealistic, personal point of view, I mean, we are all the same. And if the suffering of another doesn't bother you, then that's sad. And we have to be life-giving, like pure water, to those in need. And at the same time, we have to resist oppression and injustice like a rock. And on another dimension, I think it's really important for Europeans and EU to join US administration in these sanctions. And I'm not being an idealistic person or judging US administration's actions based on what their motives are, but the effect is positive. And I think Europeans should join in this force, because the resources they provide gives life to this regime, and they strengthen their tentacles all over the world, the terrorist groups all over the world. So that's very important.
Yeah, so part of the focus of today's event was human rights and also human obligation, as you say. Do you think it's important to have this sort of event, and do you think it can make a difference?
Oh, I think it's vital. I think it should be continued even after this regime is gone. Everywhere, in every corner of the world you look at, there is an injustice, some sort of injustice going on. Half the planet's population is supremely oppressed, the women. So that's an issue that needs to be addressed. Personal beliefs, there shouldn't be any oppression anywhere. So this has to continue. It should be a lifelong endeavor for everybody.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.